Okay, this is why we can't live to our full potential, part two, because the first part was not the full encompassing idea of what I wanted to have on here. So, life is a complicated mix of things, okay? Whether you're a man or a woman, this world doesn't allow us to have the highest level of health and the highest level of information from birth. Like, for example, you see a rich person might have the opportunity to put their children in a better school, and therefore that child has a faster grasp on how the world works and has a better chance and opportunity to do things and get things that could potentially be life-saving. So, our where we are in the social scale or pyramid really determines the things that we have access to, the knowledge we have access to, the food we have access to. So there's a lot to think about. And the thing is that, the playing field has been purposely made unfair. And, there's no specific thing that we can just pinpoint. We just have to start from where we're at and say, hey, listen, the past is in the past. Let's forget the past. What all of us, all walks of life, every color, every background, every culture, every race, every ethnicity, everybody, what can we do right now to start making the world a healthier place? What can we start doing to let go of the pain and the suffering that we have held on to from past generations and just start fresh and bring in a new energy, bring in a new way of being? I understand that it's really difficult to deal with some of the things that have happened in past generations, but the problem is that if we stay in the past, we will have no future. And that is one of our biggest issues, is that, we are staying in the past. We're not necessarily learning from the past. And that can be problematic, and I'm seeing, that this new generation of people is the cause, is the effect of the past generation being in a very carnal place, being in a place where, they just wanted money and they wanted to keep up with the Joneses and they wanted to show off and they wanted to da-da-da-da. And, we need to come into a new world where, we idolize a superstar who didn't just turn 18, and we idolize someone for their talents and for their grace and for, their wisdom and, for how far they've come, instead of, making society come from such a place. Like, the thing is that, why a lot of the reason why society is unhealthy is because young girls, they're always worried about, looking so good and being so good. But our society is structured like that. What does mainstream media show them? I'm a sexy pop star. Look at me. I'm rich and I got money and da-da-da and boys and da-da-da. And then the same thing for the boys. Look at me. I'm a pop star and look at me. All I have to do is be ignorant and not give a shit. And then, especially when these children don't have a proper upbringing, which a lot of people don't have a proper upbringing. So they go and they turn to music, they turn to media, they turn to idolization of people that society has propped up, whether or not it's healthy or the way to be. And these kids will start to emulate these people. Okay, and this is the biggest problem, is that the people that we're emulating are not healthy. A lot of these people are lost. A lot of these people just wanted to make some money. A lot of these people don't have a proper structure in their life. A lot of these people, they were preyed upon and, targeted for being talented but naive. And so now we live in a society where our idols don't even know what the hell they're doing and they're lost. So it's the blind following the blind. Look at my beautiful outfit, but I feel empty inside and I'm unhealthy. And then, they have people, and it's crazy. Hollywood has a very high death rate, being famous and all that. You would think they have, access to all of this extra stuff, and yet they have a high rate of death in that career field. Actors and singers and all that stuff. The entertainment industry has a very high death rate, and at a young age too. You hear about the 27 Club, Amy Winehouse, and it goes on, right? So, this is another big part about, wow, the main people propped up in our society are sick themselves. They don't have it figured out themselves. They're barely developed in their minds. They don't even know what they're doing and what any of the things that they're doing means. I mean, we unfortunately have the responsibility of changing all of this stuff or going down the wrong way. We have to choose right now and say, hey, we're not going to go in that way. We need to start doing things in a more conscious and aware way. Like, I don't know, it's just almost as if people are not thinking before they do anything. And almost like we're just trained to do that. Education is very important. And going back to my more the better version of me, going back to my more consciously aware, more like my full potential version, she would be fit and healthy, have tons of energy. Her mind would be working at an even more faster and more efficient rate, and that's how everybody would be. We'd be more efficient. And then that's the thing, why are we so focused on having a child and this and that at such a young age, and making decisions that are going to be on for the rest of our lives at such a young age, when we don't even know how to survive quite yet? And then, going back to my video, we're domesticated, and that's a big reason why, we're not healthy, because we're just at the whim of whatever manufacturer is around taking care of us, right? And so if you get lucky to be on the good farm, then lucky you. But most of us are not, right? Most of us is just getting fed cornmeal and bullshit, and just barely living. And so, if you think about that, it's just like how our chickens and our cows and everybody, all of these farmed animals, these large manufacturing farmed animals, oh my God, we're just farm animals. So the reason why I wanted to make this second part was because of this specific thing. And it is that people are like plants. People are plants. Like, I swear, we're plants. We're just walking plants. And if we understand plants, we'll understand that every single plant you cannot treat the same at all. You cannot treat plants the same. You cannot treat a tomato the same way you treat a palm tree. You cannot treat eggplant the same way you treat broccoli Plants are so diverse, it's insane, okay? Some plants absolutely need a freeze in order to sprout and grow. And some plants will never grow in a frozen tundra, ever. You never see them there. Some plants need extreme moisture and heat to survive. And other plants will rot if it's too wet. And so if we understand that plants are not a one size fits all, we will understand that the humans are very unique and need specifications for each individual person. And especially if you're mixed, then you even need more specification, more targeted nutrition, targeted things. And that's another thing, like, we, instead of, us focusing towards more pharmaceuticals, why don't we do nutraceuticals? You know how much money you guys could be making on tests to see where people's levels are, to see what vitamin levels are here and what foods and things like that. But no, we're just worried about drugging everybody when you could be enhancing everybody, right? Oh, let's just drug everybody, make everybody worse, and make it to the point where everyone's destitute, instead of making everybody rich so that everybody else can be rich and everybody else can be rich and everybody else can be rich. No, we're just gonna do things the opposite way. I mean, listen, IV therapy clinics are of the future. Those vitamin therapy, that is the future. Vitamin therapy, high dose vitamin C for cancer patients, and even regular people if they're just feeling like they're really sick and need it. We need to be going down the route of healthiness. You know how much people are having autism because they don't eat enough broccoli, and that there's just so much sickness happening and so much mental illness happening because the amount of nutrients is not enough. We're not getting enough. Even when I eat a normal meal, like full balanced meal, right? I'll have broccoli and chicken and a salad or whatever, and it's still not enough. I still need to supplement because it's not enough nutrients. We're not getting enough nutrients. And then, I found it so interesting. Like, I have a thing for growing tomatoes, and I grow tomatoes. And my tomatoes, let me go grab some of my tomatoes. So I grew some tomatoes. This is a Kumat tomato. I really like them. They're delicious, and I washed this one so I can eat it. But yeah, I grew some tomatoes. I grew tomatoes, and they're not huge, not as big as I wanted them to be, but man, my tomatoes, they taste so good. They're so sweet. They're just like, I did it completely organic, It's so good. It tastes like I'm giving myself sunlight, and it's just amazing. It makes me so happy. And this is the effect of growing your own food and knowing where you come from and knowing what the soil that you used, everything. And I know these are healthy. I know the soil that I used is healthy, and I know that my plants are good because of where I grew it. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of research. That's for sure. We could even learn more with electroculture and things like that. There's so much that people should just know to be more vibrant, to be more healthy, and the thing is that this feels more nourishing than that, than a whole plate of food sometimes. And it's strange because it's like, food should just always be like this. Food should always be nourishing and good, but it almost feels like the food that we're eating is just empty. right? It's so weird. It's so weird. And then that's why people overeat, because they don't feel so satiated and they feel like they need to get more because the food isn't actually giving them the nutrients that they actually need. And so then people are supplementing because they know. So you have some people that just overeat, some people that are supplementing, and it's just like, how can we make our everything more healthier? And the answer is very simple. Man. And it's just so nice. It's just so good. It's so good. And the thing is that I want to be able to be sufficient to do that. And the thing is, that's another thing that really pisses me off. I'm gonna get dirty here. Oh well. Look at all the seeds. You see how many plants we could be potentially making? Let me get out. Let me get out. Well, I mean, you get the point. We could have, this is like 100 tomato plants in this one tomato. And we have people starving. Incredible. Our stupidity is incredible. So that is part 2. If there's anything that you want me to get more specific on, let me know. And thanks for watching. This is En Route.